Hi, I'm Mark Wanamaker, and I'm here to talk to you about waking up your lawn from its dormancy of July and August, which are traditional periods when your lawn goes to sleep and becomes dormant due to the heat of the day and long days, the lack of moisture. Come September, when the weather starts to change, the days get shorter, nights are cooler, and we start to get a little more precipitation. It becomes an ideal situation to reinvigorate your lawn and get it back in condition from the stress of the summer. Most of your fertilizers are based on three different elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Nitrogen is mainly responsible for giving you a lot of top growth and greening. Phosphorus is designed for your root structure, and your potash is just a general nutrient to invigorate the lawn. Today, most of your fertilizers are actually phosphate-free now. There are particular fertilizers for specific uses that do have phosphorus in it, but because of living in areas where there are watersheds, particularly here in Arlington, you've got Mystic Lake, you've got Spy Pond, and you've got Mill Brook. So you've got to be very careful where you use any fertilizer that contains a phosphorus content to keep it out of the water supply. So keep that in mind. That's very important. And there are different types of fertilizers, particularly in the fall. Good ones to use. They call them fall lawn food. There's one with weed control. These types of fertilizers, unlike the spring fertilizers, use a different type of nitrogen, which is a slower release. It also has some nitrogens that give it some pop for fall to get it really going and thicken up. But primarily, it's used as a very slow release type nitrogen to give it a prolonged feeding and to give it a good healthy start for the spring. So you've got the Fall Lawn Food by Scott's. We also have, these are traditionally chemical fertilizers. We also carry organic fertilizers. Again, this one here has a weed control, a +2 weed and feed. So if you want to try and get rid of some of the weeds, that's the one to use. This one here is the starter fertilizer, the one that I was talking about that has a high phosphorus content. This is exceptional for starting new lawns and or really thickening up an existing lawn. Again, you've got to be very careful where you use this around watershed areas. Other soil conditioners or treatment that a lot of people are familiar with is lawn lime. The most popular type is this one here, which is a granular. It's a pelletized lime. It's much easier to spread than ground limestone. It's not as dusty. It's a lot cleaner. And you can use this through a broadcast spreader. Also, all of these fertilizers are to be used through spreaders. The directions on the back will give you the proper settings. Lawn lime does a number of things. It adds magnesium, calcium to the soil, which is beneficial elements. It also enhances the ability of the soil to retain moisture, which is really a good feature of it. How much to put down? It's difficult to guess, and that's why a simple little test like this will help you along. It'll analyze the soil and tell you what the pH level is of the soil. Typically, if it's below a 6, you want to add anywhere from 50 to 100 pounds of lime per 1,000 square feet. You don't want to exceed more than 100 pounds per 1,000 square feet, usually in one season. So if it requires more than that, you want to extend it to the next season, which would be spring. It also takes time for these products to break down and become effective in the soil. So that's something to think about. Fall is a great time to put this down. And if you want to add some seed, fall, contrary to a lot of belief, fall is the best time to be planting seed. rather than spring. Again, your nights are cool. We're getting more moisture. Because of the coolness of the nights, it gets damp and you get a lot of condensation in the lawn, which is very beneficial for starting and keeping the soil and the seed moist. Gives it a good start. And of course, seeds are all designed to do different things according to the light levels, shady areas, sunny areas. There are seeds that will germinate and begin to sprout within 10 to 7 days. Those are primarily the ryegrasses. Fescues are designed to grow primarily in shady areas and or sunny areas. They can take up to 2 weeks to germinate. And then you have your bluegrass. That's usually about a 3 week. You've got to be very patient with the bluegrasses. Bluegrasses are nice because they are set out rhizomes which grow laterally, and once you get that established, it really fills in nicely. Fescues and ryegrasses more or less grow in clumps where the seed falls. Some of the ryegrasses are only annual rise, meaning that they come up once a year, and when the first frost comes, it kills it off, and the seedling from that will germinate the following year if it goes to seed, which is usually not what happens. So it's not to your advantage to be buying annual seed in the fall because it's going to be very short-lived. The only time you would use that is if you were on a hilly site and needed something to establish very quickly, in which case you'd use a blend or a mixture like this one here that has all of those three types of seed in here. It has ryegrass, it has fescue, and it also has bluegrass. Another advantage of having a blend like this is if there's a disease or fungus in the lawn, it won't typically attack all three blends. So it may attack just one blend, but you'll still have the other seeds continuing to grow. Again, we carry a lot of the Scott's products, and we carry the Jonathan Green products. Jonathan Green products have a tendency to be more of the organic variety. So with that, I wish you well in your planting and getting your lawns back in shape, because it's a great time of year to do it. Again, the fall fertilizers can be used anytime from September right to the beginning of November. So you can do your final mowing and then hit it with an application of your fall feeds. So with that, I hope you well with your lawns, and they should look much better in the spring.